welcome back to another video from the Calcio Pros. Christian here with my brother Luca. So we're going to go on to talk about the review of the Italy games that just happened of international break. Finally over, I guess. Can't wait for Serie to come back. But another disappointing results. Not disappointing, but I guess disappointing.
No,
disappointing in the performances, I guess. So we'll go on to the first game, which was on October 6th, a Friday. Italy, Macedonia, where Chiellini scored the 40th minute. Then Macedonia tying it up at the 77th minute with Tchaikovsky. And game finishes 1-1. That's wow. Wow. I don't think we have any words for that. I don't think after Italy scored, they didn't have a single shot the second half. That already tells you something.
It's the passion, just everything's downhill. If we don't make it for the World Cup, I'll burn my house down. It's so bad.
I know.
So bad.
Ventura actually switched up from his 4-2-4 to a 3-4-3, but then your starting players like Verdi, Parolo, Gagliardini, I don't know. I just don't know. That's all I can say. And then you put on players like Rugani came out at the half because Barzagli was injured, but then you're putting Cristante on for Gagliardini, Bernardeschi on for Verdi. You know, you have Candreva. You have who else do you got here? Fuck it.
Still, Gagliardini, you have players. Spinazzola would be better.
I think our mid just isn't there, you know.
We have the injuries, Pellegrini, De Rossi,
Verratti, you know.
Yeah.
They're all missing, but there's Jorginho again. The big topic is Jorginho not being called up because he doesn't fit in Ventura's system.
No one's fitting in his system.
But and exactly. And if no one fits in your system, change the system. That's all we can say. I don't know what he's thinking. So that was disappointing, and now because of that, we had to do playoffs, and it'll depend now on a result from another day. Thanks to the Belgium win over Bosnia, Italy automatically qualified for playoffs. But then now with the Albania game on Monday, October 9th, if Italy won this game, they would have gone in the higher seeded pot for the playoffs. If not, they would have been lower seed. They managed to win. They beat Albania 1-0 away from home, and a goal at the 73rd minute. And honestly, even the first half, they only had.
I stopped watching the game. It was so boring. My God, I almost fell asleep. It was so bad.
And again, same thing with this. You're starting. Who are you starting here? Same midfield, Gagliardini. You managed to put Candreva in, but now he switched to his 4-2-4 because he didn't want to keep three at the back. You don't want to play Rugani. And then you have Osha on the bench. You got freaking where is he? Gabbiadini was on the bench as well. Play Gabbiadini over Adair. I don't know how bad Adair was messing up, and he still he ended up being subbed off in the 90th minute. Why? It took forever to break through, and honestly, Albania put up a strong game, because they were playing for pride because they didn't make it to the World Cup, but
still,
it's terrible, man. And do you really think Ventura will actually bring us to the World Cup? I know we did put up a poll, and most of you guys said yes, Italy will qualify the World Cup with Ventura still in charge, but it all depends on the playoff results, and it was close. At one point it was no right before the Albania game, and then after that everyone said yes, but I know, I'm shocked. Guys, do you really have faith in Ventura? I don't know how the FIGC does, but that was just
fire him. Get Ancelotti.
We'll see, we'll see what happens.
Anyway, we're going back to Serie now this weekend. A lot of big games happening. There's at least 3 huge games happening this weekend. And
we'll let you guys take a look before we go on to discuss them. So, as you guys saw there, we have 2 of the 3 big games on Saturday, October 14th. Opening up with Juve Lazio. I guess it's a rematch coming from the Coppa Italia. Do you think Lazio will be able to defeat Juve at the
I want to draw.
Stadium?
I need a draw. So if we can maybe pull off a miracle with Napoli, we could pass Lazio and possibly even Juve.
Inter, Juve,
We'll see.
depends on the
It's like
results.
the top, literally all
Actually,
the
no,
top
sorry.
5 are playing each other except for Milan.
You can just pass Lazio. That's it.
Well, we still have a game in hand, so.
Juve want to keep up their undefeated run so far. They did draw against Atalanta, but they want to keep going now. Lazio, they're not a bad team, but
It's a 50-50.
It'll
You
be
can put
tough
up
for
a
them.
good fight, though.
Mm-hmm.
A really good
But
fight.
it's always tough playing in Turin. That's the one thing. Later that day, we have AS Roma versus Napoli.
Huge
That's
game.
going to be a big game for
And
you
I
guys.
think we have El Shaarawy missing, maybe De Rossi. We have the Ferrell out, Schick, possibly missing. We have a lot of players injured. So I think having that.
You have the Frel, Karsdorp, whoever Neuer is.
Who was right back?
Schick, Strootman, and then unlikely De Rossi and Emerson. So
Now I just heard the news about Elsha, so it's pretty tough with the team.
well, it says here they're missing Gulam at least, so that's not as bad, But there have been a lot of goals in these past few games. At least an average of almost 3 goals a game. During these last 5 games, knowing Napoli can score, Roma have been short of scoring sort of this year.
No.
What?
We've been 3-0. We beat you guys 2-0. Our last couple of games have been like more than 2 goals.
At least 2 goals, but looking at Napoli, you score what? Like, I guess you guys started this season off poorly. Now you guys are starting to come out, but Napoli.
This is gonna be different. Just was biggest test. I feel like Napoli, I feel a better team than Juve. So if we can pull it off at home, and we lost to Inter at home, if we lose another game, it's like, come on.
He's not good at the Olimpico then.
No, we've won games.
No, but I'm saying like he's lost 2 big games at the Olimpico. That's a bad way.
One.
If you were to lose
Oh,
this. If you were to lose this. And especially like it's another big game considering like Roma is 5th right now, Napoli still 1st. Depending on the Juve game, Napoli could lose out on top spot depending what the result is, and then Roma could push up to 4th ahead of Lazio again depending on how the other game goes. We have like the top 7, almost the 6 of the top 7 teams playing this weekend, so it's going to be an interesting weekend in Serie. We'll move on to Saturday, move on to Sunday, where the opening game is at 6:30 with Fiorentina Udinese. I guess Fiorentina looking to come back. I believe they lost to
Chievo 2-1.
Yeah. Udinese with a big win against Samp last weekend. They're looking to keep it up. Fiorentina's still trying to find their chemistry. They're starting to come together, but it still takes that time. There's not as much pressure on them as there is with Milan, for example. Because they do have a lot of new players, but it's not as much pressure. Because they're not one of the biggest teams. 9 a.m. we got Bologna, Spal, Cagliari, Genoa, Crotone, Torino, Sampdoria, Atalanta, and Sassuolo, Chievo.
I think the biggest game there would be the Sampdoria-Atalanta game. Those 2 teams are going well now for a mid-table team, and I think that will probably be. I think Atalanta will come home with this. Sampdoria looking at a big loss last week to Udinese, so I think with that in mind, and Atalanta coming out very strong, so I think it will be a really smart game to watch.
And considering that was Sam's only defeat last week, and they're looking to bounce back because they've been a strong team this year. Atalanta still not struggling, but the mid-table team. In their last 5, they have 2 wins and 3 draws, so they're on a bit of an undefeated streak there. But at the same time, they're playing in 2 different competitions. With the Europa League as well in there, so
yeah, that's everything. Everyone's Juve, Roma, and Milan.
But I'm saying because they haven't played in so long, they may not have the depth and some of the players who are used to playing in all these different competitions. So that's one factor that's on why they could be struggling, may not reach the top 7 again.
And then we have Inter and AC Milan at 2:45 with Verona and Benevento. The biggest game there is Verona Benevento.
That's on Monday though, so it's too bad. But the Derby della Madonnina, one of the biggest games too of this weekend. This is another important test for Milan.
I think if Montella loses, he's done. 100% done. And as you can see, those 2 teams will have to battle out, especially if Spalletti I think that's his biggest game so far against Milan. And I think with Montella as well struggling, it will be like a tough for both oppositions to kind of come out on top. So even if it is a draw, I think it would be maybe the best result.
Maybe not entirely for Milan, but it's tough to see what Montella is gonna do. It's I don't know. Like, is he gonna go 3 at the back? Is he gonna go 4 at the back? There was so much pressure on him going 3 out of the back, and when he did, it's not working.
Got
So
slapped by us.
yeah, but we actually had a decent game up until the goal. But that's another game. But we are looking to come back. Inter are unbeaten in their last 9 games, but it's really tough to try to come back after 2 consecutive defeats. I don't know. Like, I do want Milan to win. That's the thing, but it's really tough. Inter are good teams, and Spalletti has really structured them well. Right now, we do have a poll going on to see who is going to win in the Derby della Madonnina. You vote for Milan, Inter, or a draw. Let us know what you guys think. The poll's still going on. There's about a day left in it, so right before the game, we want to see what you guys think with the final result as well. Let us know what game you guys are looking forward to between the Juve, Lazio, Roma, Napoli, and Inter Milan game. It's very important to see what you guys think, and as well as what games you're looking forward to.
Let us know your thoughts through our Twitter page. Put a comment down below on our YouTube page as well. Remember to follow us on @Calcio Bros on Twitter and on our YouTube channel over here.
We'll hear from you guys soon. Ciao.